A few years, I'd say 2 or 3 years back, we had it was a cold snap followed by a warm up followed by another cold snap.
Nice. Those are always fun.
We had it rained, and then that froze, and then it warmed up a bit, and then snowed, and then warmed up a little bit to where that was starting to like slush, and then we got a cold snap, and then it snowed on top of that.
That's ridiculous.
So the roads were ridiculously awful.
Now, there have been a couple of big ice storms. I don't know. Like the one that I remember the best is like the 2000. Winter of 2000, we had an ice storm. I was pretty much without power, without any type of electricity for most of my Christmas vacation as a kid.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why, like, anytime I move to a new place, I always ask, do they have like gas heating, gas stoves, anything like that? Because all it takes is one good ice storm, and you're sitting in the dark for a week or two.
Yeah. Well, that was like, was it somewhere in Michigan a few years back?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Like they had power out, I think it was for like 3 days, and it was sub-zero.
Yeah, I can see that. But yeah,
as fuck. Huh, that was timed perfectly.
No, but yeah, I'm always leery about like the wintertime. Not because it gets like super, super cold, or because, we have, just completely shit weather. I mean, here the past few years, it's been fairly mild winters. I mean, just, kind of cold, windy.
Yeah.
But there's always that risk of, it's gonna rain for a few days, and all of a sudden it's gonna be, in the 20s, and you're gonna have always that, some ice pulling down trees and power lines and all that business. So I never really look forward to the winter. Fall and spring, those suit me down to the ground. And, it's kind of rainy, mild temperatures. It's hoodie weather.
Yeah.
And then summer can go fuck itself right in the ass, because you don't walk outside without 90 plus degrees and 80% humidity.
Yeah, I wear shorts throughout winter, most of it. And
I mean, that's why I say that Oklahoma is just Florida without the coastline. Just hot and muggy in the summer.
Yeah, Montana is typically up there. It is. There's the lawnmower.
Yeah.
I
guess he just took a break for a minute and decided to go ahead and finish up.
Oh, what? You're streaming? Here, let me help you out here.
Well, I mean, if it's not the cats, it's the dogs. If it's not the dogs, it's the fucking neighbors, man. I can't catch a break. So, and in honor of Spooky Month, I see Monopoly is posting the Merkins parodies of different horror movie parodies in the Discord. Yeah.
I haven't been on there in a while.
Yeah, I've not been paying too close attention to it either. We're very bad professionals, aren't we?
I'm going to say that those are your words, professional.
Let's see, they got a parody of The Police, Parody of Garth Brooks, Backstreet Boys. Oh, parody of a Careless Whisper. I'll have to check those out after the stream. Since this is my one day off this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got called into work Saturday. I told my boss, like, I've got other obligations. I can't just, put these aside. Like, well, can you come in like at the end of the night and do the paperwork? All right, fine. So, I guess this is what I can look forward to if I decide to take that promotion that's being offered to me.
Yeah.
I mean, how does assistant manager Camel sound to you? Because I'm not quite digging it, to be honest with you.
It's not my paycheck.
That's true. That's true. I think because I have how do I want to phrase this? Expressed some trepidation with taking on the promotion because I'm the kind of person I just want to do my job and go home. And hey, Derry, he's in the chat. How's it going, man? Morning, dude. But yeah, I just want to do my job and go home. I only really want to be responsible for the work that I do and not, the work somebody else does. I may be the first person in history that doesn't want to be somebody else's boss.
You are not the only one. I've had people tell me that I'm, when it comes down to it, I'm a decent leader. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want that.
I don't want to be responsible for you. And well, no, like my current position right now, I'm technically the person, the head person on my shift. There's only two of us, so it's not like not like I'm leading a whole bunch of folks. But they're like, well, what do you want me to do? It's like, I want you to just do your job. You know what your job is, right? You know what's expected of you, right? And yeah, I'll make a little bit more money, but the question is, how much more responsibility is coming with that pay bump? Because they've been a little unclear about that.
I didn't want promotions, even with the extra money. I don't want to be in charge of other people. I fully agree.
And like, Terry, do you have a train crashing through your apartment? Who's that?
I don't know. It must be something outside.
Either a train or a garbage truck.
I was gonna say, like, we're gonna hear about a tube crash on the Australian news, and we're gonna see Terry staring out his window.
Mm-hmm.
and we'll know it's Terry because it's gonna look just like Greek Sargon or Giant Foot, whichever you prefer.
Just a foot hanging out a window.
Just a big toe peeking around a curtain. But
sign that pops out. Leave me alone.
This is why I don't go outside.
Well, exactly. Outside is that's where the emus are.
So apparently Twitter is asking to leave the beer ass girl alone.
Twitter is asking that?
A gal on Twitter, I should say.
Oh, okay. I mean, she's a very attractive young lady, and I mean, I would gladly buy a beer I would patron her bar, but if she did that with my pint, I'd ask for a refund or a different glass.
Yeah.
And I mean,
it's impressive. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, it very much is. I mean, if that was just hey, you want to see what I can do? All right, cool. I'm going to dump this out and make sure this glass gets washed 3 times before I even think about serving it to somebody else. Okay, cool. But if you just square up and put a pint glass between your ass and then expect me to drink out of it. No.
You don't think that's hygienic?
No, I don't. And I didn't need Paul Joseph Watson to politicize it for me to come up with that opinion.
Oh, yes, you did. Everyone was completely okay with it until Paul Joseph Watson politicized it. And you know what? I am now opposed.
Yeah, it's like I told Jack Gunsky. I replied to his tweet on it, and I go, I wonder if he's aware that you can get the pink eye from the brown eye.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I mean, is anybody surprised that a dirty hippie like Jeff Holiday is the one who's getting all butt hurt that nobody wants to eat ass?
Yeah, he's yeah.
So, the more he's one of those ones that the more I see of him, the less I like of him. It's like, go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah, I used to like Jeff, and then he's just kind of gone off the rails. He's just
And I don't want to pinpoint a certain time, but I believe a doxing server was involved.
yes.
It was before that for me. I think I've told that story enough times already, though. But it's one of those things. It's kind of like with Sophane. If I were sitting in a bar and Jeff Holiday pulled up a stool next to me, he and I could probably get along just fine, drinking a pint and talking about anything not related to politics or social commentary or anything like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But once it gets to that point, it's like, okay, now we're just going to end up calling each other assholes. And
as long as you call each other assholes and don't serve beer out of your assholes.
Well, if you're serving beer out of your asshole, there's a hidden talent there.
No, that's just frat party hazing. Haven't you ever heard of a butt chug?
No, and I don't think I want to.
You never watched Jackass, did you?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Then you've probably seen a butt chug at least once.
Yes, I have.
I didn't watch Jackass, but I'm sure that the name.
Use your imagination.
The name sounds fairly descriptive. I'm sure I can conceptualize what is involved.
Let's just say there was a hose and a bag and a butt. So there you go. That's all. That's all you need to know.
I suspected as much.
Well, that's another thing. I didn't need Monkey to tell me not to eat ass either. I was firmly on that side of the fence before I ever knew about Monkey or YouTube.
Oh, yeah, same here.
Dr. No. So, yeah, that's another thing. Like, no, dude, some people just don't want an asshole anywhere near their food or drink. That used to be a perfectly acceptable position to take.
Yes. I'm of the mind that if the food has been in the proximity of your anus, I probably don't want to eat it. I
mean, I don't want the food or drink if it's been in the proximity of your asshole, of your mouth.
No.
I want you scrubbed up like a fucking surgeon to the elbows if you're serving me the food.
Yes, definitely.
I want you coming out in a goddamn hazmat suit. That's how clean I want the food to be.
They should dress up like Della Hayes, is what you're saying.
With a fresh costume every time.
Of course, I say this, and then like I'll end up, I'll go on a bender, and next thing I know, I'm sitting in the McDonald's drive-thru at 2 a.m. So, I mean, I'm not saying this is a 100% set in stone, but that is generally how I prefer it.
That is the standard that we set. And then otherwise we let the chips fall where they may.
Now, I mean, if I was 12 beers deep and she served me that, I probably wouldn't notice. I'll give you that.
See, this is why I'm glad I don't drink. It greatly reduces the chances of me consuming ass beer.
It does. It does. And that's part of the reason why I don't drink that often anymore. like I said before, Campbell can't handle the fire water quite as well as he used to.
Ah,
But speaking of asses and Paul Joseph Watson, you guys remember the twerking video, right?
Yeah.
the environmental one?
No, the where the Ukraine, some former Soviet bloc country.
I think it was Ukraine.
Where they had it was a twerking class.
Oh, okay.
And they had all these women just on their hands and knees, just shaking that ass. And I was not mad at it one bit. Some of those women, absolutely wonderful. Some of them needed the class, and I'm glad that service was provided.
Well, I thought it was funny when they when someone put on there like, this is where America is going wrong, and then it later came to find out that it was a Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Well,
class.
I mean, it was obvious to anybody that paid attention because it was a bunch of white ladies.
Well,
I mean, a bunch of white ladies. So, but yeah. Where do we go from here? We've been talking about ass beer and ass shaking. Dr. No's demanding tacos in the chat, which I know what you mean. Do you not know any women? Share the video out, man.
So, did you guys see Minions yesterday with Prospero ranting about the James Younger thing?
I missed that part. I did pop in the chat after I got out of work, and I congratulate him on 700. And
yeah, that was good. But no, Prospero went on this really, really good rant. One of the most emotional times the most emotional I've seen Prospero get. She really, really laid into the judge, the jury, the mother. No, it's about half an hour into it, so I do recommend go back and watch it if you get a chance.
Oh, is that the Texas kid?
That story is, and I do not use this word flippantly. That story's fucked.
Oh yeah, it is.
This is one of the times when I properly use that word for emphasis.
Oh yeah, no, it's the most despicable thing I've ever it's just how fucked up has society gotten where this is happening and condoned by so many people.
Well, my thing is that it's a child.
Mm-hmm.
As an adult, I think you are free to do whatever you want with your body, chemically, surgically, what have you. And I may not agree with it, I may not like it, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what I think or feel about it. But as a kid, come the fuck on now. And the idea that one parent can make this decision unilaterally and it be supported by a judge and jury is ridiculous.
Oh, for sure. If both parents were in agreement, I'd still think it was disgusting, but it would make more sense. It'd be like
I don't care if both parents are in agreement with it or not.
No, I'm just saying that it would make more sense if the parents were both saying this and then the judge agreed. It's like, well, I think it's fucked up, but I can kind of. But if it's the mother and the father is just like, no, this is not happening, and the court just says, "Fuck you, Dad, we're going." Then I think that makes it even worse.
Now, I've also seen online, which I have not verified. I would need to go back and verify that, but that's not even like biologically her child. It was a donor egg.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Which makes me wonder, is like, would she still be pulling this crazy shit if it was? Because like you see like celebrities like Charlize Theron and Liev Schreiber and all these other people, walk around with their kids, like, oh well, they're trans, he's a she now and whatnot. It's like with Liev Schreiber, I think that's like his actual biological child. With Charlize Theron, like hers are adopted.
Yeah.
It's like, so you wonder, it's like, would she be doing this if that was a kid that she had squirted out herself, or is this just because she
Well, yeah, I do find it distasteful to adopt a child as a fashion accessory, which is basically what she's done. It's like, look how trans it is. Look how special I am.
yeah. And you notice, like, I think this all has to do with, and I don't think I'm breaking any new ground here, but it all has to do with media portrayal of these conditions, whether it be gender dysphoria or the popularization of trans lifestyle. And like, I don't remember a whole bunch of people coming out as trans after the Crying Game came out. Do you?
No, I do think that the way gender is taught in schools, portrayed in the media, has just fucked a bunch of people up in the head. It's gotten to an utterly ridiculous point.
And like as much shit as people give to like sex education in schools, looking back on sex education in my upbringing, it seemed fairly reasonable to me. Looking back on it now, it covered reproduction and sexually transmitted diseases. That was it. They didn't talk about gay sex because gay sex wasn't going to lead to a baby.
Well,
and
in today's world, gay sex could result in a baby if one of them is a tranny.
But if they did touch on the subject, it was in the discussion of the transmission of disease, and and it wasn't even so much about abstaining until marriage. They told you, like, hey, you don't want to catch a disease, 100% chance you won't get that if you don't do it. They did say that, yeah, but they did also talk about contraceptives as well.
Yeah.
So this idea of like abstinence only education is like, okay, I went through sex ed in the early 2000s, and nobody was talking about just say no like it was fucking a joint. And well, I mean, you've heard me talk about weed. How well did that work out?
Yeah.
And in a sense, Dr. Node, you definitely would cry if you lost the Crying Game.
The Crying Game will give you Forrest Whitaker eye for sure.
There is no dry eyes in the Crying Game.
Go watch the movie if you haven't already, Dr. No, to understand what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, he's younger than us, so he's probably not seen it.
Yeah.
To be honest, I haven't seen it, but I know the story.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're of that age. Like, even if you miss it, you know about it.
So yeah, if you haven't seen it, Dr. No, go check it out, and this whole conversation will suddenly make a lot more sense.
And you'll feel a lot dirtier afterwards.
If you want to skip that, just read the Wikipedia.
Yeah. Yes, it is a song.
Synopsis.
It is a song, but yeah, it's also a movie, and the movie is what we're referring to.
Yeah, it's a movie starring Forrest Whitaker. But yeah, that's that whole scenario is just holy shit, man. Like, I just think, like, when I was a little kid, because like didn't they also have one in England, like a crazy ass mother who started transitioning her kid at 3.
Sounds familiar. I forget the specifics, but I'm sure I heard something about it.
I saw somebody mentioned it while I was scrolling Twitter earlier, but yeah, it was with the help of that charity that H. Bomber guy did his video game stream for. Mermaids, I think is what it's called. And so yeah, you know, she has like the youngest trans kid like on record. It's like this isn't the Guinness fucking book, guys. You don't need to be sitting there trying to make records.
Well, how about this? My baby that hasn't even been conceived, trans. There you go. I've got the unbeatable world record.
Terry,
Terry
hold
has
on
a
to that seed for a while.
Terry has a trans winkle in his eye.
There you go. At probably minus infinity because I'm not planning on having any kids. So an infinite amount of time before this baby will ever be born, it's definitely trans.
Oh yeah, man. The more news I see, you know, online and you know, even in just like regular media, like if I do flip on the TV and I see like the nightly news talking about, you know, like when they covered like the LGBT town hall, seeing what was old black trans lady's name? Blossom. Yes.
Oh God.
Seeing that person, you know, snatching the mic and pulling a Kanye, and it just reaffirmed my decision that I made before I'd even seen The Crying Game to never have children. You know? But no, like I think back to when I was a kid, you know, like my mother didn't cut my hair as a child until my dad, like he, you know, just gave me a trim. You know, he took me to the barber and had him trim a couple inches off because apparently I was getting upset that people kept walking up to him and saying, "Oh, your daughter is so cute."
Oh, yeah, that would
I was
upset most kids.
I was
Or
like
my
3.
kids.
Yeah, I was around this age of this kid that you know is the you know Ripley's Believe It or Not youngest trans person, and so yeah, like yeah, my mom threw a fit because you know my dad cut my hair, and I look back on that and I was like, what if he hadn't? What if
Yeah.
like my hair was just allowed to keep going, and people kept saying that oh your daughter is so cute, you know. Would my mother have gotten that fucking crazy? I like to think not, but you know, the more I'm seeing these days, the more I question.
Well, I suppose just be glad that you weren't chemically altered on the basis of your long hair. I mean, having long hair is not that different to the kid liked Frozen. Must be a girl. Let's transition.
I mean, I wouldn't say that the kid is a girl, but that does sound a little gay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not denying that the kid's gonna wind up gay. I'm just saying that it doesn't make you a girl. There's plenty of gay men in the world.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's. I appreciate the thought, Doctor No, but I can't carry a tune in a bucket. I do have a luxurious mane, but I don't know about singing in a metal band.
Well, you don't have to be good at singing. You just have to be good at making noise. That'd be nice. Get some practice shouting aggressive lyrics. You'll be fine.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
Henry Rollins made it as a singer. I suppose I could give it a stab.
yeah, and I just have a giant Jufro when it grows out, so I got nothing.
Oh no, like I just got tired of cutting it, and I got tired of paying people to cut it, and then I got tired of looking like I cut it myself because I did. So I just like fuck it, just let it grow. And once it started getting to the point where it was like getting in my eyes, I realized like, okay, well maybe I should start taking care of it better instead of just you know shampoo and that's it.
Well, that's basically my metric for when I get a haircut is when my hair is so long that it starts annoying me by sort of getting in my eyes. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the hairdresser, get this shit lopped off, and then when it regrows, I will go back again, and it's usually like 3 or 4 months between haircuts for me.
Well, it's gotten to the point like it's about shoulder length now. So I think it's hilarious. I've been told I look like every white guy under the sun. High school buddy of mine came through my job, and he's like, "You look kind of like Nicolas Cage." And I was like, "From what movie?" He's like, I don't know. Just you just kind of look like Nicolas Cage. Just in general. I was like, well, Nicolas Cage has a 5 head, dude. I don't have one of those.
Well, and he's one of those names where like you have to be specific as to which Nicolas Cage you're being compared to.
What are we talking? Like Raising Arizona? We talking? Peggy Sue Got Married?
If you've got the long hair, maybe Con Air. Didn't he have long hair in that?
He did have long hair in that, and but still, he had a 5 head. No, I don't have one of those. And then like I went to go take care of some yard work and stuff for my mother and grandmother a few weeks back, and I come in, after mowing the yard and trimming limbs and this and that. And I'm, hot, sweaty, wanting to cool down. My mom's talking to me, and all of a sudden she says, when your hair like fell into your face just now, you look kind of like John Travolta from that show Welcome Back, Kotter. Like you probably don't. Even, she's like, you probably don't even know. Yeah, right. She's like, you probably don't even know that show. And I looked at her, I was like, you're telling me I look like fucking Vinnie Barbarino? Like that hurts, Ma. That hurts.
I do have a fever.
But I've been told in the past.
The rubber hose?
Yeah. No, I shocked her just by knowing like the character's name. She's like, how did you know that? I was like, it's called TV Land, Ma. I grew up with that channel. How do you think I know all the episodes of MASH and Happy Days?
Yeah, true.
Why do you think I joke about how every day I feel more and more like Archie Bunker? Yeah, my hair looks better than that. Yeah, so I shampoo and condition, and no. Mm-mm.
I did like this show.
It was an all right show. I got nothing bad to say about it, but my hair is better than John Travolta's. Hands down, bar none.
There's a Horshack and Epstein in Washington as well.
But
Boom, Washington.
And then what was before the hair got like super long, like when it was just kind of like it's like it kind of looks like it needs a cut, but it's still reasonable length. For a short while there, people were saying I look like James McAvoy. Like you guys all need to get your eyes checked. And it was like they were saying I look like James McAvoy in Wanted. I was like, I don't see it. But I mean, it's kind of the same way with people saying I sound like Jack. It's like I don't hear it.
Because I think I might have been the first one to point it out to you. But no, I can hear a similarity in the voice. I think you've got slightly different accents from each other, so it's not like your voices are indistinguishable, but the way you speak and the kind of tone of voice, it is quite similar to me.
I just think it's funny because I've lived in the same area my entire life for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
There've been short stints where I moved away for like college or this or that, but usually end up coming back home. And I still get people to this day ask me, "Hey, where are you from?" And part of me kind of gets a little upset, and then part of me kind of wants to stick my chest out with some pride because they can't tell. I've worked that hard on trying to tamp down the accent.
Right.
That people can't tell. Like I've had people say everything from like California to like the New England.
when I went to England, I got everything from like some people thought I was Australian, which I am. Some people went with New Zealand. Some people went South African for some reason.
I would never guess South African.
No, but no, a couple of people did, and well, those were the three main ones. Like some people guessed that I was Australian, but New Zealand I kind of understand because we are very close together. But South Africa threw me. I was not expecting that.
I always like, when foreigners come passing through my area because it's kind of like, dude, what the fuck are you doing here? Because like I said, I live, pretty much in the middle of nowhere. I believe the definition for the population size of my area is a micropolis. It's less than 50,000 people.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and so like I've had people from like Germany, Ireland, uh, England, Australia, and New Zealand all passing through at different points. And there was one lady. She was from County Clare, Ireland. I was like, because I hear the accent. I'm like, I don't mean to offend, but that accent, where's that from? Oh, I'm from County Clare. What are you doing here? Oh, I married an American and I moved here, to be with him. It's like, oh, that's cool, And there was one German lady. Oh, I pissed her off real good because I was working in a convenience store and I would get all my stuff done fairly quickly. As long as I didn't have like a bunch of customers coming in, I could get all the other stuff knocked out, no problem. A couple hours tops. Had the store clean, stocked, ready to rock. And so, in my downtime between customers, I would read the local papers on the newsstand. The local city paper, the two statewide papers, USA Today for the national news, what have you. And
Yeah.
I was getting into the travel section of one of the papers because I had read everything else. The funny pages, the sports section, all of that. And so I'm sitting here reading about Italy or France, one of those countries that I'm never going to go to, but yeah, why not? I got time to kill. And this German lady comes in, she does her transaction. She sees that I've got the newspaper open to the travel section, and she starts going off on this screed about how, oh, I pity you Americans. You work too long, too long hours. You don't ever take any vacation time. You don't do this, that, everything. Never once considering, I'm just reading a fucking newspaper, lady. I don't actually want to go there.
So one thing I'm now curious. You know how you said why do tourists go to your place of all things? Do you think it might be just so they can go, oh, Oklahoma?
Hey,
then
man, I
leave.
mean, as long as their money spends, I don't care.
So,
No.
Camel,
Yeah.
do you look like Vince Black from Renegade?
I have to look that up. I don't know who Vince Black is.
I think it's actually Vince of Color is the politically correct way of saying that.
Let's see. Let's see. Is that a TV show?
Yeah.
Let's see. So IMDb.
Apparently, I am not finding that name there, Dr. No.
1992. Lorenzo Lamas.
I think he's making a joke because it sounds like llama and you're a camel.
I mean. No, my hair is better than Lorenzo Lamas's too. I told you, I have a luxurious mane.
But I mean, I'm just guessing that that's his point because it does look like llama and your camel. I
Very
think
true.
that's
Very true.
the joke he's making.
Although his hair is just a little bit longer. Like I've only been letting this grow for about a year or so, year and change now. So, but no, that lady, she goes off on this whole rant. I pity you Americans. And so I let her finish. And she's kind of sits there, and I just look at her for a second. I said, I pity you Germans. You can't win a war to save your lives.
Nice.
End of discussion.
And then she never returned.
No, she did not. You mark that one down as another win for America. You're welcome. But my favorite one was when I was a teenager. I did have some Australians come through the drive-through at a place I was working. And I usually hated working the drive-through, but for some reason this particular day I was just feeling great. Just having fun with everybody. They may not have enjoyed it, but I did. So, one of the dogs hears something. Shush. And
that's your pooch sense.
Well, I've got all the hounds in here with me right now. They're just laying here chilling. But no, so I'm feeling all right, and this person comes through the drive-through, and as soon as they start making their order, I notice the accent, but I can't quite pin it down. And so I was like, all right, well, I'll have your total for you when you get around to the window, but first I have one question. They're like, okay. I just said, Aussie or Kiwi? Like, oh, we're Australians, mate. I was like, all right, pull around. They're like, well, what would you have done if we said we were from New Zealand? I was like, I would have told you to pull around. I really don't care. It doesn't make a difference to me where you're from. I was just curious where you're from.
There was in high school, we had a foreign exchange student. Well, not we, but the other school had a foreign exchange student from Australia. And when we were, it was around the time when he had the fair. And we were talking, and she just comes up to me and she goes, so you like my accent? And I go, yeah. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, I don't know. And she goes, all right, I got a quiz for you. Am I Australian or am I British? And I go, okay, I'm going to either get this completely wrong or I'm going to get slapped.
That's where you say it doesn't really matter. Both of you have the queen on your money.
And I go, I'd say Australian. And she goes, yeah, you got it right. And she goes, why made you think that? And I'm like, because the British are pussies. And yeah, she was laughing her ass off, and I didn't realize it at the time, but she was actually flirting with me.
Yeah, don't you love when that happens? Because I'm completely oblivious to shit like that too.
Oh yeah, well, and all like her host family, like he was the guy who hosted her. Like he was there, and he was pissed. Like.
Oh no, I've had that like the past a few years ago. A chick that I went to school with that I hadn't seen in years ran into her and got to talking, and she mentioned like, yeah, when we were going to school, I had the biggest crush on you. I was like, well, thanks for telling me fucking now. 15 years after the fact. Thanks.
Yeah.
That would be correct, Dr. No.
His calculator works.
Indeed, it does. Yeah. But yeah, it's just hilarious. Like that's happened like a couple of times. It's like run into somebody hadn't seen it forever. And I guess that's just part of what makes it easier for them to admit that. It's like, oh well, yeah, I had a crush on you back in junior high. I had a crush on you back in high school. Like, why didn't you say anything? Like, oh, I was scared. It's like, oh well, congratulations, you missed out. Like I need like the giant flashing neon sign. If you're interested.
Well, and I think that's one thing that women don't understand about men. We don't take context like subtext really well. Like you have to, smack us over the head with something for us to even try to even understand.
That and yeah, that's one thing I wish one would learn. It's like we need you to spell it out. That's my experience from all the guys that I've known. And B, never underestimate the ability of a man to be completely and totally vacant. I can't tell you how many times I've had a girlfriend ask me, "Is like, so what are you thinking about?" And I just sit there and scramble to come up with something that sounds better than nothing.
I mean, I probably would just say nothing and then get.
Oh no, I used to do that. I've done that before, and they never believe me. Apparently, I am just some mastermind who's always plotting and scheming, and they want to know about what.
Yeah, because I would just say nothing and then get in trouble because they didn't believe me. That would be my thing. Just so you guys know, I'm probably going to have to head off soon. My cleaner will be arriving somewhat soon. So unless you want to hear vacuum cleaners in the background, it's probably better that I'm not broadcasting.
Oh,
Actually,
well.
I have to get going pretty soon because it's time to go pick up my kids from school.
Oh, great. Now, I feel like the asshole for having a neighbor who's been mowing his yard the past hour.
Well, no, it's different if it's your neighbor. This would be like inches away from the microphone when they come to clean this part of the apartment. So, no, I think it is best that that not be broadcast to the world.
Yeah, this was not planned at all, Dr. No. We just like, hey, you want to stream? Yeah, let's stream. Okay, what are we gonna stream about? I don't know.
Well, I had set up the stream for earlier, and then sent notices out, and then I got a phone call from the mother of my children that I needed to go run and get some medicine. And so I figured I would get that now rather than wait till before I have to go get the kids.
Makes sense.
So that I'm not a half hour late picking up the kids.
I'm sure the kids appreciate that.
Hey Terry, before Johnny hops off here,
Yeah.
we actually do have some Australians on my favorite football team. And when I say football, I mean obviously American football, the right football.
What team is it?
Oklahoma State Cowboys. It's a college football team. Because I can't watch the NFL. I really can't. If I'm gonna watch a bunch of dudes on steroids giving each other brain damage, I want to watch them do it for free. I want to see some dude getting laid out and carried out on a stretcher and just think to myself, good luck on that math test Monday, kid. Like, he can't even count to 5 right now. I don't know how he's going to do any calculus homework this weekend.
So they've started putting Australians on the team, have they?
They have an Australian punter. All he does is kick.
Well, it's funny because in Australia, punter means gambler, and we do like gambling in Australia, so it kind of fits that the Australian is the punter.
Well, I think they have two of them. I think they're both special teams. I think it's like one's the kicker and one's the punter. So, but yeah, it's pretty funny to me. I think this was like his first season ever playing like American football too,
Okay.
which is hilarious how that works out. Like he flew halfway around the world just to kick a ball when he could have, just as easily kicked a ball
At home.
Yeah.
Because my only knowledge of American football is like the '93 version of the John Madden video game. Like that's the last time I played one of the Madden games, and I didn't understand it then, and I probably would understand it slightly better now. But
well, and then there was when we played Tecmo Super Bowl, and you're still trying to grasp that.
yes.
See, that's something I've been thinking about. Like, if I do decide to take this promotion and take that pay bump, I was thinking about going ahead and because all I have is my PC for gaming right now, and I'm gonna have to upgrade it sooner or later anyway.
True.
But I was thinking about getting like a used PS3 and getting some of because they don't have college football like they used to on console anymore. It's a whole licensing issue. Some former players sued for their likeness rights, and they won. So it would cost way too much money for them to make any more college football video games.
And, that makes sense.
Yeah, so they stopped, I think, like in, 2013, 2014, something like that.
Looks like 2014.
Yeah. But I was thinking about getting a used PS3 and getting some of those college football games, and because I think the 2014 one, the last one they made, people are still playing it because it's the last one.
That makes sense. I mean, they've got no choice.
And I was thinking about maybe at some point, if I ever do get the motivation and technical issues sorted out, who knows? Maybe I'll stream myself playing some old college football.
Holy shit! That better be with a PlayStation 3.
Why? What's up?
I looked it up on Amazon, just to see if it's, if you can buy it. $189.
$189?
Yep, for the game.
That must be like in the package. Fucking, I'm sure I could find one cheaper than that, but
yeah, I think you just ruined Camel's plans right there with that one piece of information. Because I can't see Camel spending almost $200 on a single game.
Probably not. No.
Hey, Dr. Carson, how's it going?
He shows up just as we're getting ready to leave.
He's pulling a Terry.
But no, that would be the plan. Find like a cheap version of the game. I mean, I may not necessarily go with that last one either. I may go with like 2013. I know I used to play the 2012 version because the game is always like a year behind the actual schedule. And in 2011, my Cowboys, they won the Big 12 Conference Championship, and they won a BCS bowl game. So I would play as them. They had just an amazing offense that year, and the defense was it was all right.
On the subject of sports games, did you see the glitchy mess that the latest wrestling game apparently is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that scrolling through Twitter.
That made me laugh.
But the reason why I stopped playing that was I would play online. I mean, you have the dynasty mode where you can build up the team, and that was always fun. But I would play online, and I would have people quitting, like rage quitting against me. Like I'm not a great player. I didn't win every game or anything like that. I took my fair share of L's. But I would have. There was one game in particular I remember playing where, like in the fourth quarter, I'm down like, was it 5 points? I get an interception that I run back for a touchdown. I'm up 2 points now. The guy gets the ball back, like 2 minutes to go in the game. All he needs is a field goal to win, and he quit. He said I was cheating.
Well, I had a similar thing when I was playing Pokemon Showdown, where people would just rage quit. Like before we even started playing, they'd see my team and go no and quit, which is just idiotic. And at least play the game to see how you go. But the weirdest one for me was this guy was winning. He had knocked out like 4 of my guys, and I'd knocked out like 2 of his, and then he rage quit.
Yeah.
What rounds?
But I think Johnny can attest to the fact that I'm technologically illiterate. I wouldn't know how to cheat at an online console game if you put a gun to my head.
No,
I just thought it was hilarious. Like this guy's just accusing me of somehow cheating the hacking the system.
I think you just get green lines of text to scroll past your monitor, and that's hacking. That's what the movies have taught me. You just need somehow lines of green text scrolling.
You need green code filling up the screen, and you need to be typing super fast without making any discernible words out of it.
Well, I forget what show it was, but apparently there was one where they had 2 people sitting at the same keyboard, both typing, like super fast.
Oh, like a piano duet.
Yeah, because apparently that makes you type even faster.
I can barely get my right hand and my left hand to cooperate on a keyboard. I can't imagine having an extra pair trying to. I think I would just revert to like hunting and pecking at that point.
Well, that helps when you don't have to type anything sensible. If you're just hitting random keys, then that makes it a lot faster. But
well, I think I need to hop off here now because speaking of vacuuming, I think my girlfriend's decided she's going to do some fall cleaning today. So
there we go.
So
all right,
take it easy, guys.
See you later, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Okay, we gotta find the thing now. There we go.